My traders, I'm going to show you an example of a bullish gartley pattern that's set up on the 5-minute chart of the pound dollar. We're currently looking at the 4-hour chart. Remember, the first thing you want to do is identify a key higher time frame area of support or resistance. So if we have a look at this swing up from the very high to the very low, I'm going to take our Fibonacci tool and draw it from the low to the high, and see price come down. Okay, it's starting to bounce off this area right here. You take your horizontal line and you're just looking for some sort of confluence around there. See that 38 area lined up pretty nicely. Price broke through that, came down. You see this area here, this is pretty interesting, real nice key level. You see how we have sort of a price flip, have resistance holding a support. Look at the rejection wicks, bit of resistance there. You see the rejection, comes back, closes above support, big spike support, comes down again. Okay, so this would be a key area that you would want to be eyeing out very closely in terms of looking for a bullish pattern. And you can highlight these areas, set your alerts, before price actually gets to these areas. Okay, so if we now move over to the 5-minute chart, I'll show you where this pattern's set up. We had price come down, okay, nice aggressive move down into this key support zone. We then had price rally, okay, let's see, it takes this little high out here, and it starts to retrace. So if we take our Fibonacci tool and we draw it from the low up to this high, okay, see our price retraces down to pretty much the 62%, it's like 2019, so it's missed it by a pip. Then it starts to rally. Once that happens, you want to start thinking about a possibility of a gartley pattern. Okay, let me just zoom this up for you. So there's the rally, then we started to retrace, and once we start to retrace again, I'm going to draw your Fib tool from the high down to this low. Okay, and this is what you want to eye out very closely. You see the 79 with the 127 projection extension. It comes in alignment. You see this block here, this last bearish candle before price break to the upside. That's a real nice confluence. Okay, now if we label this pattern, you can see we've labeled this X, this is A, B, C, and you look for a leg down to point D. Okay, so this is where you'll be looking to buy with a stop loss below this low. Okay, and in terms of the size of the actual pattern, it's only 42 pips, so it's a nice pattern on the 5-minute chart, but we looking at a higher time frame key area of support from that 4-hour chart. So if we now go to our order platform and we go to pending order, go to buy limit, at, you see this 5.8, let's put 5.8. Remember, we need to add the spread. We've got a 3 pip spread on this platform. So there's 1, 2, we want to go in at, let's say 1, 6. Okay, 1 pip above, so 13 plus the spread, so 16, and then a stop loss below this low right here. So I'm going to put in a 15 pip stop, okay, just below the low. In terms of take profit, I want to see once again how price actually reacts to this area. Okay, remember, the nice thing with these small time frame patterns like this is you're trading them at a very high time frame key area, so you want to take advantage of the order flow, the larger institutional flows that come in around these levels. You normally get some real nice runners, especially, again, this is a 15 pip risk on the trade. Could even get it down to smaller if you've got a smaller spread, but this area here is essentially, between this 79, this block here, and the lows, essentially where you want those buyers to come in. Okay, if you don't get a reaction off there, then you look elsewhere. Let's just follow this along. Okay, so price has come down, hit the level, and reacted. Okay, once price reacts, we want to start looking at some higher time frame levels. I'm just going to remove these fibs quickly so that when we look at the hourly chart, we're going to get a better feel for what's happening. So look at the actual rejection in terms of wicks here. Okay, see how we've lined this area here, this key level of support. We really want to see price close back above this area. In terms of take profits, you see this base up here, we've got supporting here, resistance support. Okay, that area right there, you see this last bullish candle before price broke down, that would definitely be a level I'd be interested in terms of taking profits. Okay, now if we measure this, we're looking around 75 pips or so for 15 pip risk, so it's really good risk reward. So that's the target there. I'm actually going to put this into the platform, modify, take profit. Target is on 589. I'm going to go at 90, so let's use just a pip below that. So if we just follow this along on the hourly chart, you'll see what actually happened on this trade. Is we sat in a range. Actually, this is a trade I took. We sat on this for absolute ages. There was just no excitement in the market whatsoever. Eventually we started to get a little bit of a commitment outside the range. So you see here, this area, you have a level of resistance, a big part of support, and it holds in this range. I mean, this is an hourly chart, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, you know, almost half a day sitting on this trade. If you look at this on a 5-minute chart, remember this is a 5-minute pattern, you can see the chop on this. Okay, and you can decide to just bail on the trade, okay, if it doesn't go anywhere. You know, that's a decision you've got to make. But remember, this is a higher time frame key level. Okay, it's 15 pips of risk. It's really not a big stop loss in terms of what you could get out of this. Okay, and see price starting to break to the upside here. Took quite a while to get going. Eventually it started breaking to the upside. Switch to different time frames. 30-minute chart, you see this area here, you want to see price clear above that. See that resistance holding now. Have a look at the 4-hour chart if there's any sort of signs of resistance. You see this level up here. Okay, you see how we closed below, come back, retest it, then we saw that selling pressure come through. Now we're starting to release. So this area right here, you know, you could take some profits if you wanted to. What I'm going to do is get the stop to break even on this trade. Okay, we're still in a sort of a down move here. Got low high, lower low. Stops at break even now. So if this thing comes back on us, you see this area here, this low. Okay, you want to see that area now hold and cap price if it does come back. So you see how you can manage these trades. See this area right here. You don't want to see this area of potential support in this block hold, so that hopefully, you know, if it does come back, your stop won't get hit. So price coming off that resistance area, that 4-hour block. Just follow price along here. See how price comes down. Now tags this. You see this block right here, this last bearish candle. You reference that. Okay, now price starts to release to the upside. And what I want to do is I want to move my stop just below this low 58.41. Modify this 41. So if price comes back, we now have, you see this block here, this is a good place to watch for a possible bounce. Okay, so now moving up into this area, and just follow this along. So now coming back to this block here, a little bit of a bounce, so still hasn't moved higher. Okay, so we just have a look here. Hit your target, 74 pips. Look at the reaction. Let's just have a look at this on the smaller time frame. Okay, so you see how price actually rallied, hit that pretty much to the pip. And look at the aggressive selling that comes in there. Okay, absolutely massive selling pressure coming in there. And as I said, you know, good place to even look for a sell order. you step this down. You see our price actually bounces. See our price bounces off this block here, bounces like 17 pips into resistance before taking another leg down. Okay, so nice little trade there. That was a bullish gartley on the 5-minute chart. We risked 15 pips for 74 pips on the target.